What's up, man?
Ah,
I love our theme song. I mean, come on now.
I know you can't help but be like, boom,
Duh,
boom,
duh,
boom.
duh,
Hey,
You know what's happening?
much. What's going on?
Another episode of Grits and Glitter, man. G and
Oh
G.
yeah, episode 5, baby.
Hey, now what's happening? How's your week been?
It actually has been one heck of a week. I am thankful, but also scared about this weekend. I'm thankful the weekend is coming, but we have one more day, TGIF for tomorrow.
Yes.
But it has been an insanely busy week. It's been an exhausting week. Woke up with a little cough. It's like, really? On today, the days of all days, or we got to
Of all
record?
days, yes.
Yes, yes. How about you?
Well, life's been good. I'm saying this is the kind of a busy weekend. We're always kind of busy doing our thing. And, I believe that this is the time that we get to play and we get to, it's summer. It's
Oh,
summer.
it's
But
true.
we're working
That's
hard
true.
as you are bringing gay boy realness one more time with that tank top. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of the tank top.
I'm working hard,
Now,
Ed. Let
look
them
at
out.
you. Look at you. It's been a
I'm
good week,
working
though.
hard.
You are working hard. It's been a great week, though. Let's see what has gone on. What didn't go on this week? What did we had? The Met Gala.
Man,
No.
Trump's trial this week.
Oh my God.
Uh,
It's just been
you know,
crazy.
yeah,
But
it has been an
life is
insane
good.
week.
Have you had
Good.
any downtime, any playtime?
No, no. My playtime is tennis. It's the gym. It's a long walk with the pup, with my baby girl Zola. That's my downtime, really. I've been, those that know me well know I'm up at 12, 1 o'clock, even though my trainer won't like to hear that because I'm supposed to go to bed by midnight every night. So hopefully he's not listening. No, actually he should be listening.
You be sending those texts like at 12 a.m. I'm going 12:30 a.m. I'm sleeping. And I wake up
I know.
at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I wake up about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm getting these texts. I'm texting you because I know you sleep.
You do. I wake up, I'm like, oh, he's caught up. He's
Right.
caught up.
I'm caught up because you drop them at 12:30, and I just like, okay, let me just answer them now. So when you sleep, do you put your phone on do not disturb and keep it out of the bedroom? Is that what you do?
I do not. I have a nightstand next to the bed, and the phone sometimes is there. Sometimes the phone is on the bed because I fall asleep, either playing Words with Friends or texting with a certain someone or, that whole thing. So it's in the bed. And if the dog is in the bed with me, she has a tendency because she hates when I'm on the phone. Absolutely hates when I'm on the phone. And everybody knows how smart my dog is. So she'll lay on top of the phone. So a lot of times I don't even hear when my alarm goes off because she's still laying on the phone. Yeah.
Oh my God. I love it. I love it. That's what we're supposed to do. We are supposed to actually leave the phone outside the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
You know that? We're supposed to.
It forces you to get up and go turn off the alarm and do all those sorts of things. I know.
See, but I use my alarm. I just need to be able to reach over and go boom.
That part. And
that part
another
right there.
Boom, 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 boom.
Okay, I got to tell you a story though. I don't have to get up as early as my partner, and his alarm goes off at 5:30 every morning, and he has the intention to go to the gym. And he doesn't.
He said intention. That's all I heard.
Lately, he's not been. I'm like, I want to say, you could have just left that alarm off. You could have just let me just sleep in when I can, but
he didn't woke up the whole house.
The things we do for love, brother.
Going to the gym. Right.
Are you a gym person morning? When's your gym?
So I typically try to go in the middle of the day, just because I like the fact that it breaks it up. And then I work a lot at night, whether it's attending networking functions, different events. And then I'm really good at writing at nighttime, which is very, very weird. I like to get my meetings in the morning, get those out of the way. And then middle of the day, I take a break, I go to the gym, and then come back. And then it's back on the laptop and, catching up on things throughout the day. But no, I'm more of an afternoon person for the gym.
See, I am the complete opposite. Like, if I don't get my meditation and prayers and fitness in the morning, all bets are off. I don't know. Even we record this in the evenings at 6:00 in the evenings. That's our record time. We do 2 back-to-back episodes, which I love doing that. But it's coming up to 6:00. I'm going, where's my bed? Where's the bed? Where's my bed? Where's my bed?
Right. I've done that where I've tried to go in the mornings. And what I do love about working out in the mornings, it sets the tone for the rest of the day, which is great. Like being productive and that sort of thing. You got energy throughout the day. I do love that. But because I'm up so late, it's nearly impossible to get up super early and get a move on. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So, okay, tell me, are you ready for the summer? What are you ready for the summer? Are you going to go travel? What are you doing?
I am. May and June are 100% my busiest, and August actually, my busiest times of the summer. I think the summer's going to come and go super, super quickly. I am keynote speaking for 2 events in Columbus, Ohio at the beginning of June. Then, of course, my concert, which I am so ridiculously excited for, at the end of June. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona in 2 weeks. Then I'm flying from Phoenix to New York for 3 days. And then I'm back here. There's so many things going on here that I'm involved in. It's getting ready to be insanely crazy, busy next few months.
So how do you keep it all organized because we both have insane lives? How are you keeping it organized? Seriously, how do you keep it organized?
So for me, I tell people this all the time. I'm attending an event next week, and the guy who I'm going to the event with, he was like, "Wait, you really putting this on my calendar?" And for me, if it's not on my calendar, it does not get done. I forget. I have way too many things moving, too many moving parts, too many projects, clients, right? Praying. I'm getting ready to sign a very, very large client here in South Florida. The decision is on their table right now. So with all of that, I have to schedule everything. It has to be on my calendar. That's how I keep it all organized. Some things I do miss and forget, and they just simply remind me, or whoever needs to remind me, and then I'll get it done. But yeah, it's a big challenge for sure. I need an assistant. So if there's anybody out there who wants to be my assistant,
what did we say last time? Assistant, social media, somebody who just wants to help out the cause. Do it for the culture, people. Do it for the culture.
Remember, we're doing the Lord's work. So
it's just crazy. It feels like summer, especially here in South Florida. It's hot, yo. I'm sweating.
83 degrees at 10 a.m.
It's hot. What? It's hot. They say that Florida has 3 temperatures: hot, hotter, and really God. Come on now, really God, really?
Not really God.
we had hot, and we're getting hotter. Hotter.
I think it's going to be an extremely hot summer for sure.
I think so, but we had a pretty good winter, though. We were really fortunate. Our season was beautiful, but now we are going to pay for it.
Absolutely agreed.
Oh, my goodness.
But I'm ready, though.
Are you ready?
I get to take the summer off from tennis, even though I'll be practicing and training and that sort of thing when I'm not traveling. But I'm working extremely hard on my fitness right now and certain things. My diet has changed a little bit in the last 2 weeks. So I'm very excited for that. And of course, if I get to show it off in a new bathing suit in the summertime, why not?
I'm gonna put up your social tag. Follow him on social media. There it is at Terry D Sings, y'all. Just follow him.
Keep up.
Well, we have a very incredible Did You Know? We are in this segment. Child, okay, so you're a fitness person.
Yes.
You're a fitness person, and I worked for Equinox for Oh, I worked for Equinox for 17 years. I worked for Equinox quite a long time, and I come out of the fitness life, and I still am very much fitness. I still teach yoga. So, did you know Equinox has created a membership that costs $40,000 a year? $40,000 a year. I'm not kidding you.
Say
So
what
this is
now?
what you get. I'm gonna read from my notes. I want people to know what you're gonna get for $40,000 again. It's luxury fitness gym. Equinox has created a membership for $40,000 a year. Actually, it's $42,000 a year because 36 goes to this extremely incredible thing that you're supposed to get this membership, but it does not include the yearly membership, which is another $6,000. So you got to pay for this membership and you got to pay for the lower level membership. So you get nutrition, you get a personal trainer, you get counseling on changing your mindset and all that. Dude, my guy, my guy,
Mm,
this is
mm,
ludicrous. Come
mm.
on, $40,000, $42,000 a year. Did you know, child?
Listen, I feel like one of those memes or one of those gifts right now. I just want to throw them all up there and be like,
Right?
what? What? No, that's a no for me. In the words of Randy Jackson, it's a no for me,
It's
dog.
a no
Like
for me.
I don't
What
no,
happened to the
no,
days, Joe, where we just
no.
ate less and moved more? How did being healthy become such an exclusive experience? And
Right.
listen, shout out, I used to work for Equinox. I have some family members that still work and people, and thank God they're still working. But I think this is really out of touch. And Equinox is known to be out of touch anyway. When I worked at Equinox,
Mm,
people members used to come up to me all the time going, this is kind of out of touch. And I would
yeah.
go, yeah, I know. It's just our branding. But that is a little
Mm.
extreme out of touch.
I don't always understand who Equinox's target audience is. It's not very clear. I feel like in their branding, I don't. And again, I've been to a few of the Equinoxes, especially in San Francisco, but I never really understood it. Like where the Equinox is in San Francisco, it's the downtown professionals, right? That are
Yeah.
typically going, whether it's lunch or right after work. But in other cities, I don't quite get what you're trying to accomplish, right? And the gym to me is an experience for people, right? You want it
Mm,
welcoming, you want a cool environment, that sort of thing. You want to make fitness fun. But
yeah.
when you made it to a point where it's completely turning off and people can't afford it or whatever the case may be, that's not health and fitness. It's not health
Yeah.
and wellness.
Well, then are we targeting, and we're going to be talking about the Met Gala later on too, the 1%. And what we see
All right.
that is still advertised about Equinox, they are geared and their target audience is now the 1%. I mean, it
Yeah.
used to be the real wealthy people that used to come
Yeah.
our membership, very
Yeah.
wealthy. Now, this $42,000 a year for health and fitness, that's targeting
Same.
the 1% that we call who have disposable income.
I mean, I get it, but do I want to spend my disposable income of $42,000 a year on the gym?
Yeah.
Girl,
It's
girl,
it's called ultra
girl.
premium. How exclusive is
No.
that? It's ultra premium.
You might as well just hire your own trainer and have your personal trainer and have them come to your house multiple times a week. Like,
Or build your gym. You can build a
right.
gym for 42,000. I have a gym in my
Absolutely.
house here. Listen, shout out to Peloton. I love me some Peloton.
Nope.
I love. See, I love the personal thing of working out by myself in the morning.
Yeah.
So Peloton is my gym. I have the treadmill. I have the bike. I have a row machine in my gym. I also
Ooh.
have a weights. I have bands. I do yoga. I mean, I've created a studio. I used to have a studio when I lived in LA, in where I lived in the garage. I built it. This was during the pandemic. And
Mm.
I really got out of the whole idea of going to a gym. I don't know if I'll
Mm.
ever go back. I do miss being in group yoga. I do
Yeah.
like the fellowship and I love community.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have this turn off sort of approach with the gym. I think a lot of people that are in the gyms, no tea, no shade, no disrespect, but I like to call things out, or as we say, call them in, right?
Call them in.
Uh,
Call them in.
we a lot of like the fitness pros and gurus and bodybuilders and stuff, it's a turnoff to everyday Joe Schmo off the street, right? We don't make it inclusive, we don't make it welcoming, we are shaming, we are making people feel uncomfortable as they're trying to be healthier, as they're trying to focus on their health and wellness. So I know a lot of people that just refuse to go inside a gym for those reasons. So I think Money by Equinox, all they've done is just continue to turn those people off anyway. So it's unfortunate. It's really, really unfortunate.
I'm so glad you said something because I kind of felt a little twinge of, ooh, if I had $42,000 a year, would my life be any better? And then I went to, oh, but you don't have $42,000 a year, and you're doing this and you're doing that, and you should be here at the age that you. I went through a little shaming in my head, and I had to call myself in, going, "This is not my. This is not the truth. This is my ego playing with me." So I'm glad you brought that up because there is a lot of shaming. There is a lot of shaming when it comes to gym and it comes to fitness and exclusivity like that.
Absolutely. And it's unfortunate. I feel like it's another way in our society that we continue to be divisive, right? And I think
Mm,
that's sad, right?
yeah.
Obesity, all these sorts of things happen from a young age, right? A lot of these schools at elementary schools, junior highs, and high schools, like they don't necessarily have the healthiest meal plans and
Ooh,
things like that. So it starts there, right?
that's
And
the
we're
truth.
not, so I just feel like it's an unfortunate situation, and hopefully Equinox, no tea, no shade, but
No tea,
get
no
it together.
shade, but tea and
Get it
shade.
together.
So go forward.
Get it together. Get it together.
Hey now, I love it. I love it. So what's yours, brother? What's yours today?
Oh, so as we said at the top of the show, there was this thing on in this trial that happened this week with Cheeto, Mr. Donald Trump, and
I can't believe you called him
did
Cheeto. Yes,
you
I
know?
can. I
I
love it.
do, I do.
I love
I've
it.
only really started saying his name in the last 6 to 8 months. I
I couldn't do it.
refuse
I
to
yeah.
acknowledge that man, and I don't say that about anybody else. Anyone else. There's a few people that I should say that about, but I only say that about him. So I'm sure, I'm hoping, right? People keeping up on CNNs and our news, but he had Miss Stormy Daniels. She was on stand this week. She hopped on the stand this week in the trial against him. And when I tell you that woman told the God's honest truth, child, the
You okay, catch
lawyers hit
me up because I
her.
don't know what she said. What she said.
She said a lot. So
Ooh,
the lawyers were hitting her with
right.
everything they had. They were going in on her. But when I tell you, she stood up there so tall, so proud, so open, so raw, and she gave every graphic detail about the ins and outs of their relationship behind closed doors. So much that some of the people felt it was actually too much detail, too much information. So my did you know is about the trial this week and about how she stood up there and just literally let the world know that what that man is up to. But I will say this: as I kind of read a little bit of the transcript and listened to what some of the newscasters were saying about this whole incident, it brought up several questions for me. Was it too much info and details in relation to the LGBTQ community? What right do we all have to know what goes on in another person's bedroom, right? Because that's a part of the fight against the LGBT community, right? Or what we say, they don't need to know what's happening behind in our bedrooms and things like that. So I feel like it's kind of the same with him. Why do we really need to know what's going on in his bedroom, even if and even though it's there's illegal and controversy and all that kind of stuff, right? I could go on and on and on, but I would say this: as much as the world talks about Miss Daniels, kudos to her for being as detailed about all of the events in question. I love it. My hat's off. Mad respect for her getting up there and just literally telling everybody, this is what this man is up to. This is how it was illegal. Him and his people paid me the money. Done.
Okay, so here's my little head going here. Was there anything about the sex? Did she talk about the sex?
She did. She gave graphic detail.
Oh, I got to go back and read the transcript then.
Detail.
Part of this thing has been I am not wanting to drag myself down into the muck because I get really obsessive around this. And I remember just getting obsessed with different trials that it consumed me. And I kind of purposely stood away from this trial. But my brother, shout out to TJ, my brother says that he's going to jail. And I'm going, is he?
I don't know. No.
I don't know.
No. I know, in my heart of hearts, it just baffles me that this man has so many indictments and so many illegal things that he has clearly done. America's going to let him get away with it. Let's be real. Call a spade, honey. He's going to get away with it. He's going to run. He's going to win. Do we want it to happen? Absolutely not. Right? But let's be real. Money talks. Money talks. And as I've said before in certain episodes, Middle Earth, what I call Middle Earth, right? These people are still voting for him. So regardless of what he's done, his transgressions, his indiscretion, like all these things, doesn't matter. We're still voting and supporting this man. And it's such hypocrisy because then we as a society, then we want to go and tear down people of color. We want to, now if this was,
Obama, if this is Obama, he'd be under the jail. If this is Obama, he'd be under the jail.
Bye. Like,
he'd be under the jail.
Mars, put him on the ship, like ship him out. Like it would be over if this was a person of color. Over.
You know, and you know that. Here's the thing: we ain't telling anybody something who listens to this podcast who don't understand what this is all about.
Right,
but it's
100%.
Just amazing to see how much in your face of I can do anything I want to do. He even said that before he was president. Yes. I can do whatever I want to do.
Yep.
And so very, very interesting. Well, that was a very interesting. Did you know, child? Did you know? Did y'all know?
Listen. It's insane to me.
Listen, Linda.
It's insane to me. 100% insane. But that was my Did You Know? Shout out to Miss Daniels, because I love the fact that she got up there and said, this is what he did. This is what we did. It happened. Yeah. It's the truth.
Done deal.
Paid me money for it. Yep.
Love it.
Yep.
Love it.
I love that. So we want to, as we always like to do, we want to give a shout out to one of our advertisers. And
Absolutely.
I'm personally excited about these advertisers because I've known them for multiple years now. We're all from kind of the same area in California. Yay. So I want to call out and give mad respects and ups to Cooper Steinmetz Enterprises, LLC. They are a brokerage firm that carries your trust. They are one of the world's fastest growing third-party logistics worldwide. They are based in Palm Springs, California, and they transport all of your freight. So shout out to them. Their website, we've got their number on the screen here. And then we'll add their website to it too for all those that are interested and put them in the program notes. So shout out to Cooper Steinmetz Enterprises, Chad and Jamie, amazing people taking care of all of your freight worldwide. So thank you so much for supporting Gritz and Glitter.
Absolutely not. Let me ask you something, because I'm moving back to California. Can they come and get my furniture and just ship it for me?
That's what they do.
Really? Okay.
They can handle your stuff. They can handle your stuff.
They can handle your stuff. I love it. Hey, I love that. That's a great tagline. We can handle your
with
stuff.
Trust.
I love it. Well, this is a fun one for me because many different things that we're doing. We're talking about Black love, child. We're talking about dating. We're talking about queer Black love and how it shows up. And then, the grits of this is, Terry, it's hard out here. It's hard. Yes. I almost started singing a song.
I knew it.
Because I ain't no pimp.
Right.
But it's hard out here dating and stuff. I see what, I'm in a relationship right now. And the relationship, it's one of the hardest things I've ever done was to be in a relationship. And I was single for years. This is just very recent. I would say it's less than 8 months, 9 months. And I was single since 2019 and celibate. And celibate.
I'm sorry.
I'd celibate. I was celibate. Celibate. Right? But I just didn't want to go through the dating crap. Brother, yeah, I did not want to go through the dating crap. I tried apps and then, I was, I'm going to tell myself, I was the one that would make a kind of a date or a hookup and then I wouldn't show up because I get scared. I know. I'm that one. I get scared. I was
heard it here. So all you boys in LA that got stood up by the Rev,
Lord,
Jennings, Lord have mercy.
I'm afraid of dating. Because I've tried it, and I'm the type where I love monogamy. I'd rather be alone than having to go a series of dating people, and that's okay with me. That's kind of how Black queer love has showed up in my life, and I bought into a story that I was told when I was young. We were supposed to be married with children, a house, a mortgage, a great job. And part of my problem is I wanted to take my queer Black relationships and make it heteronormity. And that doesn't fit in it. So I'm calling myself in. I know where I need to improve.
Yeah. Being there, we don't always see representation, just like with the LGBTQ community, just like with people of color, marginalized communities, etc. We don't always see representation. So in my experience, I can barely recall a lot of Black love representation, whether it was heterosexual or LGBTQ, right? So we've had the Cosbys, on a different world. We had Young College Love, there were certain shows, the Jeffersons were a great couple, all of that fictitious stuff, right? We had all of that. But when it comes to everyday Joe Schmo of what Black love is supposed to look like, especially in the LGBTQ space, we have not had that model. We have not had that representation a lot. So it's nice, I think, over the past 10 years or so, even 5, where there has been people with platforms that have showcased that a lot more. I can think of a few groups on Facebook, for example. My buddy, shout out to Darian Aaron, who's doing incredible work, right? Love him, and is now happily in love and that sort of thing too. So we see it a little bit more now, but we haven't always had that level of representation to see what that could feel like, what that could look like.
Yeah. Part of, I think our work is part of, especially what we're doing here, is showing a representation of very stable relationships that are very healthy. Because I think we both have had in our experiences in relationships that aren't healthy. I believe even when I was out there dating, and I will whenever, whatever, I believe that we are here to find our way. I'll probably see myself dating again soon, whatever. I'm making this kind of movement here, and we're trying to figure out if we're to be together and not so much. And he's staying here and I'm moving to California. Maybe we'll do the long distance. I'm trying to figure it out. But I believe part of our show is to show that we're not a monolith.
Yes.
And same thing with dating. It's so many different aspects of dating. What I would love to see more is a representation of healthy dating. And what I mean by that is we only see the wild side. I was on YouTube and I was watching the cruises, Terry, them cruises, the gay cruises. They wild. And I've gone on a few gay cruises. Wildness. But I listen, no shame, no tea, no shade. I'm just calling what it is. I believe, and as I'm turning 60 next month, that's right, 60. As I'm turning 60 next month, right? I believe that we need to see strong, powerful Black queer love of couples together, or healthy dating. Maybe you call me the old guy in this podcast. I don't know.
I agree. It's so fascinating to me looking back on my dating love life for years, because, anybody who just looks in from like a high level overview, they would say, oh, Terry likes white boys, right? And that's not always the case. I have dated men of color. I've always, even in my younger years, I have always said, listen, I'm the type of person that if I'm approached correctly, then I'll date whoever. It doesn't matter what the ethnicity is. Like, I wasn't raised that way, that you only date, in your race, right? Now, did my family want me to bring home a Black woman? I said it, Black woman. Sure. But, once we figured out that wasn't going to happen, I left myself always open to dating whoever approached me correctly. And I used to have a saying, gosh, years and years ago, and it's all in how somebody approaches me, right? If you talk the talk and walk the walk, then boo, we can walk together, right? But if you don't, you shoot your shot and you miss, don't be mad, right? And don't act like it has something to do with, oh, I don't date Black men, or oh, I don't date my own race or anything. Because I've gotten that. I've gotten that a lot.
Did you just say shoot your shot?
I did.
Oh my God.
I did say shoot your shot.
I heard you say shoot your shot. I'm like, did anybody else who's listening to this podcast, I just want you to say, Terry said shoot your shot.
I did. I said what I said. Shoot your shot. No.
I love it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. I do believe in, obviously, I do believe in Black love, and it would be wonderful and incredible to be in that space. It comes with different things, right? We understand the cultural aspects of who we are, right? You don't always have to find yourself in positions in your relationship where you have to explain your culture, explain how and why you act the way you act, or you talk the way you talk, or why you are into certain components that are culturally based, right? It does make a difference. However, I'm a firm believer in if I'm going to be in a relationship with somebody who is a non-person of color or somebody who's Black, then honey, you're going to have to do the work to understand who I am culturally.
But don't you think, okay, so here's a story, because I've dated mostly interracial. I've been mostly interracial relationships. Now, we have to look at this. There is some part of us that is called to educate. But what I am kind of tired of, and I don't want to be in a relationship where I have to fully educate from the basics, cultural basics.
Yes.
Like from food and from what we're eating and stuff like that. I don't want to go to that place. I just don't want to have to. So I am now, I believe the next relationship that's calling forth from me is a relationship with person of color.
I love it. I'm here for it. I support it. Shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. Right?
Oh my God.
All you LA boys, get ready.
But I got to ask you a couple of questions though, because you on the apps. I'm going to pull up my notes here. Some of the lingo that you find on the apps.
Listen.
Educate me. Educate me, brother.
Educate me. All you listeners and subscribers, we hope y'all are hitting that subscribe button.
They are.
I have the biggest problem with these apps and the language and the lingo that is used on these apps. This is part of my problem with the LGBTQ plus community, right? We continue to be divisive in every space that we're in. It doesn't matter if you're on, blackpeoplemeet.com and you're gay. It doesn't matter if you're on Christian Mingles, because I know a couple that met on Christian Mingles 10 years ago and they're still married to this day, right? If you're on Grindr, Scrub, none of that matters. What I find so disheartening and like it just blows my mind that we're in the space where we have to, in such a public forum, that we have to be as vocal and as discriminatory as we are. I see things on people's apps and their profiles where no fats, no femmes, no blacks, no Asians, and I've seen even worse. If you're black, move on. If you're this, don't even think about it. Instant block. What is wrong with us that we find it so necessary to put that type of language out there when we're constantly fighting for equality and equity in our society as an LGBTQ community, but then we're going to put things out there like that to each other?
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me.
So question, would you rather have it up front than to meet someone and have these thoughts in their... So, and that term, what is it called? It's big black.
Oh,
when
BBC,
that's what they're looking for, the BBCs.
Yeah.
The BBCs, and y'all can say, because I don't want to get an E rating on our. I guess we already listed as explicit, so we got the E anyway. So big black cocks. When you see the BBCs, how's that make you feel? Is there people who are fetishizing about, they have fetishes about black men?
100%. It is a thing. It is reality. It's been here for 40, 50 years. It hasn't gone anywhere. I won't mention a specific person because they're also my client, but I love his thought process. Yeah. He's young, he's queer, he's black, he's handsome, he works out. He's very much of the mindset that, so what? Like, I got a BBC, right? And so what? I use it. It's my choice if I choose to, engage in that language and in that behavior and allow someone to speak to me in that way. Or I can choose to be like, you know what? Boom, block X. I don't need to engage in this conversation. I love his thought process on that because, one, it's different. And it's also challenging us to sort of take back that term and take back, like, owning what that means for us. We get to decide what we allow in our space, right? We get to decide if we want to engage in that or if we educate. I have friends that tell me I spend way too much time educating on these apps. They're like, girl, just block. Hit that block. Hit that decline. Hit that
just block.
Girl,
just block. I love it. Just block. Okay, so here's the other thing that I've been hearing more about, and it's really a thing that people put on the apps. It's called the Mandingo complex. Mm-hmm. Is that a part of, do you remember the movie Mandingo?
Of course. Of course.
So that's a part of the dating scene that we are experiencing now.
Absolutely.
I'm afraid of that.
It is very much like the Mandingo complex and the BBCs and all of that stuff. Like it is all on the same page, right? There has been this ideology of black men that has been created, the sexiness, the appeal, the muscle, the stature, having a BBC, right? I want to say this. I do want to say this with respects to the stereotype that all black men have BBCs.
Because they don't.
We just gonna let you in on a little secret.
Yes.
Not all black men have BBCs. Okay.
Preach.
Okay.
Preach.
Doesn't work that way. Again, we're not a monolith. We all aren't sculpted the same way, right? We all aren't blessed in that area like most. I am gonna get twisted. But I'm just saying it doesn't. It doesn't always work that way. And we have to move past that thought process that you see a black man, he's going to have a BBC. Or if you see a black man, you immediately go to fetishizing him. We all have preferences. I want to be very clear, especially with what I was saying about the apps and what people put on their profiles about your preference is one thing.
It's one thing.
Preference is one thing, right? But when we as a community knows what goes on in terms of divisiveness and a lack of inclusivity and racism and all these things, we specifically put that type of language and information out there for the world to see, continues to perpetuate the problems in our society, which makes us hypocritical. As we can tell the rest of the world, treat us equal, we need the same rights, we need this, dot, 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 dot. Boo, boo! We're not treating each other equal in our own backyards.
I remember, and even within our own community of Black queerness, I remember there was a time where, I was looking to date, Black queer men, and the Black queer men that I was running into wasn't looking to date me.
That part.
I mean, come on now. Within our own community, there was this marginalization. I met this guy when I lived in New York. I went to NYU, graduated from NYU, go Violets. Hey now, hey. And I remember being in a conversation with this person, and he was darker than I was. And he says, we were talking. It's like, well, do you want to go out for a date? He goes, no, I don't date dark brothers. I only date light-skinned brothers. And I'm like, oh, are we in the 60s? Are we way back colorization? Come on now. My mother used to tell stories that, she went to Alabama State University, and Alabama State University, my mother is very light-skinned. And there would be parties that were called brown paper bag parties. And if you were darker than a brown paper bag, you weren't allowed. And this is black on black crime. I call it black on black crime, baby. Yes, exactly.
Wow.
For real.
That reminds me of the movie School Days. Iconic movie, right?
Oh my God, Jasmine Guy. Oh.
Yes. We still have that level of racism in our own community. It still exists, right? We may not be as outright and out in the world using that same terminology and all those sorts of things with, good hair, light skin, good hair, all those sorts of things. But like you just said, we still deal with that as a culture.
Yeah.
There are things I was having a conversation with someone last week, and someone asked me a question and said, do you find, and they were like, no disrespect to you, but do you find that people treat you differently because you look the way that you look, or because your body looks the way that you look? It looks. And I said, you know what? Let's be real. Good-looking people get away with shit in this community or in this society, right? If you look a certain way, blonde hair, blue eyes, if you're chiseled, if you're right, like we do treat each other differently based off of the way that we look. It's what we've done for centuries, right? We have to get beyond that and start seeing the humanity in people and start treating people as human beings versus a look, a race, a color, a this. We have to move past that. I don't necessarily know how, because we keep doing it on magazines and all this other stuff, right? We have this ideology of what we're supposed to look like, and we need to move past all that.
So, have you ever had a experience on dating that was just like stopped you from even wanting to date?
I would never necessarily say that a situation that has stopped me from wanting to date. A bunch of my family and friends always say to me that they love the fact that, after a dating situationship, is what I'm gonna call it.
I love that situationship.
Yes. Situationship, right?
Yep.
After something hasn't worked out for various reasons. And since I have lived in South Florida, there's a running joke in this community where, who's the flavor of the week for Terry? But I want to be very clear. It is not about being the flavor of the week. I accept people for where they are. Where they are may not align with where I am, right? Sorry, my dog is making noise now. I'm sure
That's
y'all can
okay.
hear
Zola, we hear
that.
you on the
Yes,
podcast. Zola's on the podcast.
right. Zola's officially
She's
introduced.
talking
Right.
about you and your dating, because if Zola could talk, baby.
She has a lot to say. If Zola can talk,
she knows.
Zola has seen it
Zola
all for
knows,
10
boo
years
boo.
now. She knows. Right. So I will say this, especially in my experience in the last 4.5, almost 5 years that I've been here in South Florida. You know, if somebody is coming into my life and they have an alcohol problem, boo, it's not going to work. Right? You present one thing and I take you for what that is. And then months later, I find out, oh, you have a substance abuse issue, right?
Wow.
Boo boo, not going to work. Not going to work. I'm not in that space in my life, right? Or if you like to put your hands on people, yeah, I had one of those who was also an alcoholic, right? Boo boo, not going to work, right? I am always open and I accept people for where they are. I think people here, especially in the last few years, think I am one way because of my public persona and what I represent in the community and advocacy work that I do. And they think, oh, I have to present this way. No, what you have to do is come correct. What you have to do.
But boo boo, how are you dating in a place we nicknamed Fort Lickerdale? Come on now.
Exactly.
Because I don't drink, and you know I go out and there's a tons of people around me that are sloppy drunks. That's why I don't really like going out. And so we live in a town called Fort Lickerdale, baby. You know, Fort Lickerdale.
We do.
That part there.
I think, you know, someone told me, a photographer here, a dear friend, said to me when we got a little closer in the last couple of years, he has said, I hate to tell you this, but as long as you live in South Florida, you will always be single. You will always be single. And that is a sad statement. It's a sad, you know, thing to kind of accept. But for me, I have just continued to wear my heart on my sleeve. I have a lot of love to give. And unlike, and I'm saying this, right? I'm calling us in, not calling us out. But unlike our community, over the last couple of years, I have forced myself to do the work on myself in order to be open to accept and receive love. Like I finally know that I deserve it. Right? And if somebody's not on that same path or have done the necessary work, then guess what? It just ain't gonna work. Sorry.
Ooh. Oh my God.
Sorry.
Oh, we can probably go on all like we need to come back to the subject as a full podcast episode. But
we do.
We got something else to talk about, boo boo. I mean, this is Gritz and Glitter. That was the Grits. Time for the glitter, baby. Time for the glitter, baby.
I will just say this in closing of the Grits, you know, we all deserve love. And what I will say is to folks listening, to our Black LGBTQ brothers and sisters, if you haven't found it, it will come when you least expect it. But just make sure that you are ready to receive the love that is the universe is sending your way. That's all I will say.
I love it. And Zola agrees. Zola's going, that's right, Daddy.
She hears me being animated. She's like, who are you talking to? What are you doing?
Daddy?
That's my child.
Sure.
That's my
I got to watch the way I say daddy, because that's how, you know, rumors go out there. The skip goes, Terry Daddy. I'm
that's true.
Yo, okay, so check this out, yo. I mean, okay, the Met Gala. Every year, the first Monday in May, it's Met Gala.
Yes.
First of all, I'm going to premise this by saying I am a fashion freak, and I do follow all the designers and everything. But I got to tell you, this new wave of fashion is pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. And I do have some issues with the Met Gala. We can talk about that later on. But what did you think about this year's Met Gala?
I didn't watch it live. I
watched it live. I was watching live on YouTube. Yes.
So I have noticed that I've kind of stopped watching a lot of these shows live because I like to just fast forward. I hate commercials. So I like to just fast forward through stuff. And then if it's like someone I'm not interested in or don't want to see, I'm like, girl, next, you know, that kind of thing. But people came to slay this year.
Yeah, they did.
People came to slay this year. So the 2024 Met Gala's theme was the Garden of Time.
Right.
And it obviously showcased a lot of different looks. It was up to folks' interpretation, of course. So we naturally, as we do, we have a few highlights.
And you know, the Garden of Time is actually a short. It's actually a short story that was based on a short story. So I would say the interpretation was very open. So they had Sleeping Beauty reawakening, which that gave, you know, tons of movement and expression that could be expressed, but it was pretty doggone amazing. I loved it. There was some hits and some misses. What was your first like hit? What did you love? What was your first hit?
I mean, first and foremost, you know you a bad so-and-so if you come with not only one, but two looks. Two looks? You know you are coming to shut it down. So
you know,
first person is Miss Zendaya.
There she is, yo. There she is.
She was perfection. So that was her first look. Her first look.
Actually, that was her second look.
That was the second look. The blue was the first look. Okay.
The blue was
woo, everything. The drama is what's so always fascinating, and how big or how little folks want to go with their interpretations of the theme. So she to me was everything in both looks, not just one.
And so her stylist is Law Roach Law.
Yes,
is it Law Roach?
Yeah. La Roach,
La Roach. And I think he has one of the most creative minds, queer brother, beautiful. He wears these long locks, and just his inspiration of how he's dressed Zendaya for all the openings, like the red carpet for Dune. She showed up. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
She was sci-fi incarnate. She was sci-fi it. And then her recent movie Challengers, she came in the tennis outfits. She came in the yellow tennis balls. She brought it.
Yeah.
She brought it.
Yep. I agree. So I loved her. Who did you like?
Okay, so I'm going to bring it up right now. This is Janelle Monáe. I love what Janelle kind of brought in this. Listen, I'm going to give you body.
Yeah.
Because their whole new album is about body.
Yes.
It's about expressing her queerness, her gayness. And I'm like going, okay, are those bubbles? Are those little like shingles? What is she wearing? Because when you got to look really close and go, what is she wearing? Phenomenal.
I don't know, but she looks incredible. Janelle Monáe to me is always one of those folks that I look forward to seeing what level she takes things to. Her and Cynthia Erivo are also on the same page with me with respects to what they do. Ooh, your face, child.
Okay, so I love Cynthia Erivo. I love her voice. I love her look. I love the piercings. I love all that. I'm not sure if I liked her red carpet look where she had the height. She had, you know, the crop top and the long dress, but it was really out. It took notice. It took notice. It looked like a matador.
Yes.
And she had flowers all in it. I mean, and she closed down the show. It was a
midriff too.
It was a midriff. It was a midriff. What did you think about Coleman? It's my boy.
Coleman to me for the past
look at him
7-8 months.
Look at him.
Coleman is letting us have it. Way to represent for the men, way to represent for the Black LGBTQ community. Honey, he came to slay, and then flowers in your hand too. You know you balling, you bad.
Bad Bunny did the same thing too. Bad Bunny. Let me ask you a question about Bad. Is Bad Bunny gay? Is he queer?
I mean, I have not heard anything officially, but
I haven't either. But I love him.
People say, but yeah, I agree.
And I don't speak Spanish. I don't know what the hell he's saying, but it's like, okay, I'll go with it. Whatever you say, Bad Bunny. Bad,
Agreed.
bad to the bunny, bad to the bunny. And
Agreed.
here's the great thing. The thing I love about it is that you don't even know the designers, because half the designers I don't know, half the
Right.
designers I forgot, but you can appreciate the art. Like J
Absolutely.
Lo, I forgot who J Lo was wearing. I looked it up, but look at what she look out. Damn, J Lo.
I know.
Damn,
At
you
50
just
plus.
you just getting better
At 50
and
plus.
better.
She to me personifies what elegance is, what it means to not only sort of be tomboyish when you need
Yeah.
to, but just transform into she's stunning when she's even being tomboy or dancing and sweating like crazy. She's still ridiculously stunning.
And she had, this dress is like peekaboo. You can see a little bit, and maybe you're supposed to see that, maybe you're not supposed to see it. And then it looks like a little bit the bottom, like, the what do you call that your grandmama had on the table? The
You
doily.
better stop it. Not the
No,
doily.
the doily. But it's a cool
Not the
doily.
doily.
It's a good
Not the
doily. Look at the very
doily.
bottom. I love it. Listen, J-Lo can't do any wrong. She
J-Lo,
just
his name is Rev
amazing.
Skip
I
Jennings.
know, right?
J-Lo, he said,
I
you
love
look like a doily.
Jay. I love the JJ. Now listen. Now I didn't download a picture of it, but Cardi B, they're going back and forth. People are saying it was great. People are saying it was over the top. I mean, she had the turban, the black. It took 10 men to help her with the dress. Was it over the top? Did you think
It
Cardi
was
B
not
was
over the top for me. The Met Gala is over the top.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's the one chance of or one time of year where folks get to go way out, right? Past the spectrum. So why not come in, make a statement, shut it down, have all your entourage carrying you and walking the dress. I saw an interview where they showed her team. It was a big, massive bag that the dress was in, and they had to put it in a truck. I said, kudos, Cardi.
It's a circus, which I love. It's a fashion circus. It's brilliant. Yes. Okay, another look I want to bring to, and Tyler. Oh my God. The sand dress. That's all I can call it. The sand dress. Make me sweat.
This
I love the play on it though. It's like, okay, you need some water, child, and then from water you with the sand. Make me sand.
That's
Make
exactly
me glitter. I love it.
Right. And then you notice she got sand on her arm too. Like
I know the little boom, 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 boom. I love it. Perfection. And she's carrying a hourglass.
Yep.
She's carrying an hourglass. She was at first Met Gala. I'm like, okay, she did not come to play. She's
Absolutely
like,
not.
Watch out. And one of probably the most memorable dresses, and another memorable dress, and we didn't even download it. I thought about it and I said, okay, Kim Kardashian, she had this, like, she couldn't breathe. She was uncomfortable.
Her waist was so snatched.
It was the smallest. It reminded me, remember those old dominatrix pictures, and they're in.
Yep.
I remind me of those old dominatrix.
Agreed.
Oh my God.
She looked amazing up until she went and got her boyfriend's or whomever's sweater and put the sweater and was holding the sweater. I was like, now you just took it down. Down a notch.
But here's the thing. They think, and it's online, so we're talking about they did the right thing. Kim Kardashian, did she have a wardrobe malfunction? That's been online. That they had to cover it up because something wasn't where I don't know. And she's not going to tell us until probably 20 years from now. Oh, by the way, because we're still talking about it.
Right.
So do you believe that there's no bad publicity? Because look at us. We're talking.
Oh, 100%. I'm a firm believer. Somebody's talking about it. That's good publicity. It doesn't matter.
So let's talk about this last dress we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Miss Lizzo.
Yes. So I don't really know if she's still canceled, if she's not canceled. We love her. We support her.
She was never canceled. She was never canceled in my book.
Well, she was still being drugged through the mud with the situation
I
and all
know.
this and the lawsuit and blah blah blah. Then she was on her social media a couple months ago talking about she quits,
He
and
quit.
it's been confusing, right? But I don't know how I feel about it. I'm just gonna say I don't know. It looks like several items to me. Like, do I want to take a basketball and shoot it in the top? Because it,
His name is Terry Dyer. Terry Dyer, Lizzo, Terry Dyer.
I'm just saying. Like, I think she looks beautiful always to me. I don't understand the flip up at the bottom of the dress either. Like, is it a tree skirt? Like, is this
I
a
think it was a
Christmas?
tree. I think it was a tree.
Okay.
I
Okay.
really think it was a tree.
Okay. Got it.
And that's
Got it.
okay.
Yep.
If we get
She
tree,
still
we
looks
get tree.
beautiful. Still looks beautiful to me. I love she's always rocking for the big girl, the thick girl. She lets body all the time. I love it.
Watch out for the big girls.
Right.
You know.
So there was other like folks that did not show up. So like Rihanna,
Lady
Katy
Gaga.
Perry, Lady Gaga, like these folks did not show up, but AI created
I
looks
know.
for them or something
I
like that.
know. I look online, y'all.
They were epic.
They were epic. I saw them
Epic.
online. I saw them.
Yeah.
So here's my little thing that I have to talk about, the pushback to the gala. And I understand we're preserving the art of fashion. It's a museum. I get all that. I would hope that one day we would take all the money, because it was millions and millions and millions of dollars to put on the Met Gala
or something like that. Yeah.
So can you imagine if it was scaled way back and they took all that money and got it to places like in Flint, Michigan, where they're still trying to get water.
Right.
Or it would go out to people in Appalachia who's not getting meals. Or if they took, and because majority of the people in this world will not get to the Met to see the exhibition.
Right.
So how about, and it's very exclusive, like they don't show any video inside. How about they stream it? How about they stream the exhibition, the whole affair inside, and raise money for homelessness, the unhoused? I mean, we have to look at
obesity. We have problems in this country.
The same thing with the Oscars, the same thing with all these award shows. We have the 1% giving kudos to the 1%.
Absolutely.
And so I believe this is where we get to look at it. Are we on the right trajectory to continue to move forward, where we need to create a world that works for everyone?
Yeah. I think once folks reach that upper echelon of like the 1%, in my opinion, I think sometimes folks lose a sense of reality, right? If you're not using your massive status and platform to do good in the world, to give back, to take care of humanity, I'm going to use that word a lot, I feel like, in our episodes, right? Because I wholeheartedly believe in we've lost sight of being good people. We've lost sight of taking care of our brothers and sisters, regardless of race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, none of that. We've lost sight of just being good to one another, right? But if those folks literally just took an iota of what they make, what they earn, what they do, and just give a little back, I strongly believe we would be a different society.
And there are some people, shout out to those who are doing it. If you are the 1% that's giving back and making a difference, keep going. I just believe that we need to really look at our spectacles, the things that we deem, because I'm calling myself in because I was glued to YouTube watching the red carpet of the Met Gala. I was there. I wanted to see what they were wearing, but I was also very, very clear that we could make a difference with all the money that we're spending.
Absolutely.
And all that. So, one of the amazing things that I think that are happening now, like I think it was, I want to say, Zendaya. She buys all her dresses. She doesn't borrow. She supports small business. Law and her, they're like Law. I saw interview. It's like, no, we're buying. We need to support small businesses, and they choose these designers that need help.
Absolutely. Like the unknown or not big name designers. Absolutely agreed.
Absolutely love that. Ooh, Chow. I guess we're making a difference. We're making a difference, right?
Y'all still holding on with us out there in podcast land, yeah?
You got to. So who's making a difference for you this week?
Oh, there's a few people, a few different organizations that I thought about recognizing. I want to recognize an organization that is not Black LGBTQ led or focused. I was a part of something with this particular organization this week, and it just sat on my spirit all week because I strongly believe in the work that they're doing and how they're also calling people in, right? Organizations that have been around 10, 20 years, specifically here in South Florida, they're pushing them to be better. They're pushing them to be more diverse. They are pushing them to focus on internal work to change the landscape of how they're representing the community that they're serving as a whole. So I want to shout out the amazing, incredible, the Our Fund Foundation. And again, as I mentioned a moment ago, although we are here to amplify and uplift Black LGBTQ voices, the Our Fund Foundation are true allies and non-people of color that stand hand in hand to accomplish the same goal. I want to acknowledge an organization that I have, again, as I said, personally witnessed them put their money where their mouth is. Literally, they have raised hundreds of thousands of dollars or given out hundreds of thousands of dollars yearly to local nonprofits, to different organizations that are providing healthcare resource, health and wellness, arts and cultural type of programming. They stand for what is right, and they absolutely lead by example. And that, to me, is what really truly sets them apart, is that they lead by example. They exemplify what it means to advocate for diversity and inclusivity. They create change by providing funding to the LGBTQ community. They also oversee trust funding when it comes to donors leaving monies to people and organizations. They are led by an amazing, amazing CEO who I have a tremendous amount of respect for by the name of David Jobin. He and his team, his entire amazing, amazing team, are truly making a huge impact in an area that needs major change. So check them out at Our Fund, urfund.org, and understand and learn more about who they are and how they're making an impact in our community.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
So I have one that you're going to really, really love because you are an athlete. And this one that we're making a difference. Yes, this one we're making a difference is with Dot Bailey. She's created, and she's been working this for a long time. And she has a new nonprofit called Empower Youth Fund launches. I love this Empower Youth Fund. It's unlocking the potential and fueling the dreams of your athletes, which I love about this. So you're an athlete, Terry, and part of this is seeing the potential of young athletes and helping them to build their skills. And I love what she writes this and says is a nonprofit Empower Youth Fund is committed to nurturing the aspirations of under 7 to 17 who desire to elevate their athleticism. Not just in basketball, because, you know, Dot played basketball, and but she's talking about everyone who has that desire. And it's also to promote self-esteem and the realization of the full potential of young people in sports, academia, in life, enable them to live a full, incredible life. How amazing is that, T?
Love it. And
that
I love Dot. I do know it. Yes.
I love Dot too. We're going to have her on the show. I told her we would have her on the show, and she can come and talk about this in person. So down the way, we're going to be bringing guests in. I think we're going to be bringing some guests in very soon. Oh my goodness. This is a great show, man.
This was a great show.
You know,
yes. I hope everyone enjoyed and everyone listened and had a good kiki and laugh, because that's what we're here for as well.
We're here to do. And how can people find us on the socials, my brother?
Gritz and Glitter the pod. Gritz and Glitter pod on all social media. You know what's funny is right before we started filming is I had vocal coaching. So my vocal coach lives in California. So we once a week I get vocal coaching from her. So their pipes were warmed up.
The pipes are warmed up. You're ready to sing a song. You're ready to sing a song. That is so awesome. I love it. And then our website is under design right now. We have a couple people that worked on the website. That's coming your way. So stay tuned for gritsandglitterpod.com. That's coming your way. And we're dropping some stuff on LinkedIn and we're on YouTube now. And follow us, share, like, leave a comment, tell people about what we're doing up in here.
Subscribe. Absolutely. This is all about having conversation and dialogue to, make an impact and change the landscape of how we navigate in our community. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Hey, y'all, remember, be kind to people. Kindness is just like
free.
What we need. It's free.
It's free.
What we need to do. Be kind to people. Mm-hmm. I love working with your brother. This is amazing.
Likewise.
Until next time, everyone, peace and blessings.
See y'all soon.
Remember to like, share, and leave a comment wherever you listen to your podcast.